Hello everyone, welcome to Yunus English. I brought an article from Yahoo News published on May 14 from CNN. The title is Trump's egg price fiction has suddenly become reality. For months, President Donald Trump has falsely claimed that egg prices are tumbling. It wasn't true then, but it's true now. Egg prices fell 12.7% last month, the biggest monthly decline since 1984, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported Tuesday. And they could continue to fall this month too. The USDA reported last week that a dozen large white shell eggs now cost $3.30 on average, down a whopping 69 cents from a week before. It's a remarkable reversal after egg price surged in each of the past 5 months and 17 of the past 19 months because of a deadly avian flu epidemic that necessitated the mass culling of egg-laying hens. Maybe the worst of egg age has passed. Tyler Schipper, associate professor in economics and data analyst at the University of St. Thomas in St. Paul, Minnesota, told CNN. Nevertheless, egg prices remain significantly higher now than before the latest bird flu outbreak, and they cost 49.3% more last month than they did a year earlier. Eggs are still more expensive than when Trump took office, according to the BLS. Egg price this past Easter, which typically rise in the run-up to the holiday, were the highest for any Easter on record, the USDA reported. Well before last month's decline, Trump had been touting falling egg prices as a sign that his administration plan to lower prices for consumers has been working. In February, the USDA announced an initiative to lower egg prices, including increased biosecurity on egg-laying farms, aid to farmers who have lost flocks, and temporary lifting of restriction on egg imports. Despite Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollin far more conservative estimate that egg price would normalize in the summer, Trump last month said, "As you know, the cost of eggs has come down like 94% since we took office. Those percentage declines," Trump stated, "are not close to accurate, but we now know that consumer egg prices were indeed falling sharply when Trump made those remarks. The consumer price index data wasn't out yet to confirm or deny Trump's claims. It appears as though Trump may have been talking about wholesale prices, which had been tumbling throughout March before normalizing in recent weeks. Nevertheless, the wholesale prices fell by half, not close to the 90% plus figures Trump was citing. Wholesale prices are the cost distributors pay to the farmers or middlemen. Consumer prices are what customers pay at grocery stores. Those costs typically make their way through the supply chain at a slow pace because grocery store may decide to keep prices at a certain price, even when wholesale prices change, try to recoup lost profits from prior weeks, according to Kevin Burkist, sector manager at Wells Fargo Agri-Food Institute. The USDA says consumer prices finally fell as demand for eggs decreased, and avian flu cases have fallen. Many groceries, including large chains like Costco, had limited customer purchase because of egg shortages. So Trump's claims that consumer egg prices are down is finally true, even if the timing of his claim and the wild percentages he threw around were grossly inaccurate. Here is another article from USA Today. Egg price fell for the first time in months. Will they get any cheaper? U.S. egg price fell in April for the first time in months, but remain high as a dozen grade A eggs are still running customers $5.12 on average. The overall cost of eggs dropped to 12.7% last month, according to the Labor Department's Consumer Price Index. The drop represents the first month-to-month decline since October 2024. The series of price hikes over the last few months were related to the long-standing bird flu outbreak that impacted American poultry farms and egg-laying hens. The average price for a dozen grade eggs hit a record $6.23 in March. Considering that we were at record level prices just a couple of months ago, I think this is a pretty big move, said Bernd Nelson, an economist at the American Farm Bureau Federation. We can't say that it will necessarily stay this way, but for the near term, this is great. Nelson attributed much of the price decrease due to farmers' collaboration with the U.S. Department of Agriculture to implement biosecurity or measures taken to prevent the spread of bird flu at their farms. Ilham Sinij, a senior investment strategy analyst at Truist, said, prices are down also because the U.S. sellers are importing a high number of eggs. Declining cost for energy and feed needed to heat and take care for chickens are also contribute to the decline, he said. Changes in consumer behaviors can also have an impact on prices. If a dozen eggs costs $6 and you are used to paying $2, you may stop buying eggs altogether, resulting in less demand and eventually lower price, Sinij said. White House spokesperson Kushi Desai celebrated the decline in a statement Tuesday, touting other news from the CPI reports, which also showed cooling inflation. The CPI report shows that American people are experiencing real economic relief. Grocery, gas, egg prices are down, while real wages are up, Desai said. President Trump's America First policy created a historic economy in his first term, and he is laying the groundwork to repeat the success in his second term. But are lower egg prices temporary, or are they going to stick? Will egg prices continue to drop, or will they rise again? In April, the USDA still anticipates a significant rise in egg price this year, predicting an increase as high as 54.6% in 2025. Nelson said the USDA prediction is partially based upon an assumption that farmers will continue to struggle with the bird flu. However, if things stay calm like they are now, we have relatively low case loads and that strong biosecurity does its job and starts showing some success, we might see egg prices stay down, he said. Multiple other factors, including the rate of production, will affect the price of eggs over the next few months. Even a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine, two of the world's major grain producers, could change egg prices for U.S. consumers, Sinij said, because it could lower the cost of feed for chickens. By just looking at input price, energy, and agriculture's, and the import process has started, if I had to guess what the next month's number should be, it should be lower rather than higher, Sinij said. Ellen Kahn, a partner at Simon Cooker, said it's hard to tell where egg prices will be a few months from now, because while there has been an effort to build back domestic supply, the size of egg-laying flocks are still significantly smaller than they were before bird flu outbreaks. She said the supply chain is not meaningfully protected in any way different from 6 months ago. We are still subject to any sort of volatility or major shocks to the supply system if there is another big outbreak, Khan said. So I'm not sure the solve is sustainable. We could get lucky and it could stick, but who knows? Changing tariff policy also adds to price uncertainty. High tariffs on eggs or anything that affects their production would likely mean cost increase, according to Sinij and Khan. Did groceries overall get cheaper in April? Grocery price overall dropped 0.4% in April, nearly offsetting a 0.5% rise the month prior. Other breakfast essentials also fell, with the price of cereal falling 2.5% and the cost of bacon declining 1%. Other food staples did get pricier, including bread, which rose 1.6%, and fresh fish and seafood, which increased 0.8%. While the cost of groceries on average declined, the report found the price of dining out got more expensive and is up about 4% from the past year. The price of food away from home rose 0.4% in April, marking the third consecutive monthly uptick. Alright, thank you so much for watching my video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.